This is the Quantum Leap podcast, and I'm Peter.
And I'm Mikey, the owl to his Sam, watching for the first time.
And today we are rewatching season one, episode eight, Kamikaze Kid. This is the episode where Sam leaps into Cam Wilson in June 6th, 1961. Episode is written by Paul Brown and directed by Alan J. Levy. Mikey, how's it been?
How's it been? It's
Yeah, how's
it's
it been?
been it's been all right. It's been okay. Kind of
Yeah,
busy,
you,
but it's
you
been all right.
when I go back and like re-listen to our episodes, like after they've come out, it for me, maybe because it's I've been podcasting for so long, this is the first time you and I have, you know, had a show together kind of deal. And
Right.
I almost feel like it's a little weird that we just jump straight into it, which I'm sure people enjoy. There's no beating around, not even beating around the bush, but no lollygagging, before we really get started. But I don't know. I feel we need some sort of icebreaker in the beginning, but that could just be me. That's why I
Okay.
decided to ask you a question. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know if
I
people
mean,
really.
I lead a pretty boring life. I'm a single father. I work, and then I single father, and then I go to bed, and then I single father, and then I go to work, and then I single father, and then I go to bed. That's pretty much my days. I don't
So,
know.
so you worked.
Yeah,
Like,
just yeah.
yeah. Uh,
One job to the other, really. Yeah, that's it,
yeah,
Um,
I am a family man. I go to work. I podcast. I watch things. I fall asleep while watching them, just like everybody else.
oh, I fall asleep constantly. Yeah, I'm good for that. I never
Yeah.
catch the third period of a hockey game.
The right, there's only three periods, right?
There's three periods, and I do make it through the first two. The third's a little iffy sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Uh the holidays are behind us now. It's
I know, thank God.
is this the first episode of the year?
No,
What's No, we did
uh,
one right after. We did one right after the new year. So this is
yeah,
the
yeah, we
second
were
episode.
like, yeah, yeah. Although
Fun
Brookson's
fact.
still been kind of busy. Sorry, God.
No, no, apparently this episode, Kamikaze Kid, is the third episode that was actually produced, but they released out of order. I think I read something like that.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, kind of interesting, but we'll definitely get into it. But I think that's enough talking and catching up. We'll see.
That's enough of you.
Yeah, we're able to 8 episodes in. We're still trying to find our footing. I think we kind of got the gist of how we're going to be doing things, but there's still wiggle room for some improvements here and there.
Sure.
First impressions of this episode. I know you kind of tipped your hand a little bit. We speak, time to time on the phone stuff, but yeah, share with us your impressions of this episode.
Uh, I really love this episode a lot. Like I thought there was actual stakes. I was worried what was going to happen to Cheryl. Um, yeah, like I honestly think this is an almost perfect episode. Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, we could bring it up, introduce it into the games. It may not be worthy of an entry for the game, but we could definitely bring them up as if they show up in these episodes. But I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying the show.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, and I was a little surprised when you said that you love this. Like, I like this episode very much. This would be if I made a Peter's like Quantum League Greatest Hits episode, compilation. This would make into it. Like this is a fun episode. Well, fun in parts, but like you said, there's stakes. The um I love the comedic tones and the seriousness of the subject matter in this episode as well. I love the family dynamics. I love most of these characters, and so it's a really well rounded and balanced episode, really well written. Um,
Yes.
I think may be the best written episode thus far, and we really praised. Well, I'll explain. We really
Okay.
praised the previous episode, The Color of Truth, but in this episode, there's a lot of character motivations and there's a lot of setup and everything gets paid off. And that's what I mean by like it's probably the best written episode thus far in that sense. But like I was more emotionally um invested in The Color of Truth. This one, uh again, like there's a lot to love. The characters, Cheryl, for example, Jill, I really like. I've come around on Jill a little bit, and I'll give more on that as well. But this one has stuck with me for a variety of reasons. I was a teenage father, and in this episode, Sam gets a bit of a help in meeting Cheryl, who he finds out is his sister. You know, they pull up, right? And Cheryl obviously knows who Sam is, Cam, if he's talking to him, and he looks down and there's like that decal on her door that says Cheryl.
Yeah.
Because of this episode, I put my son's name on my car when my son was
Oh,
born when I was in high school. So I actually put it on the windshield, not hit the back window where the car seat was, but
yeah.
but this it was an inspiration for sure. Um, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was kind of like and the other thing, this also kind of reminds me of a cheesy 80s movie that I just truly love. It's garbage, but it's just great 80s cheese garbage. Only because of the drag racing element, really. But are you familiar with The Heavenly Kid?
No, I don't know that.
I believe that stars Jason Gedrick. I believe that's his name, right? From Iron Eagle. Is that
Oh,
Yeah,
ugh.
yeah. It stars
I'll
him.
take your word
I
for
don't,
it.
yeah, I don't remember the other leads up, but basically it takes place. Well, it starts off in like the 50s, I think, and there's a drag race, and one of the drivers goes off the cliff, like he doesn't make it. Wakes up, it's 1985, I think, right? Like it takes place our present time, and so he
Okay.
wasn't able to go to heaven because he is now tasked with making this kid just cool and whatever. And so it's fun, it's cheesy. So this kid is the only one that can see the ghost that is trying to help him be cool and stuff. So there's a little bit of similarities with the quantum leap. Like Sam sees Al, he's the only one. So
Okay.
there's, a fantastical element to it. There's kind of great music, both 50s and 80s. But yeah, The Heavenly Kid, it's one of my favorite like guilty pleasures. And yeah, drag racing. So that's why Kamikaze Kid has always kind of stuck with me. Before we hit record, you kind of asked a question in the name. What was the question? Like,
Is
how are we
this,
pronouncing this?
yeah, is it called Kamikaze Kid or is it Kamikaze Kid? Because
I
his
think
name's Cam.
Correct. I do believe you can say either, right? Because it's obviously a play on kamikaze, which is pronounced kamikaze with the K. And so his name's Cameron, Kamikaze. And so I don't think you can uh, I don't think there's one answer.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know what was the accepted pronunciation
Yeah.
amongst
And
bleepers.
the
I
funny
don't know, or if anyone
the funniest
cares.
I don't recall growing up and really remembering Sam Sleepy's name, Cam, even though they say it like all over the episode. But for some reason, like I just never put two and two together. That's why it was spelled with a C. Like growing up, I was just like, I thought Kamikaze was with a K, and I just thought it was his
Right.
nickname. But yeah, for the longest time, I didn't realize it was a play on his name. So,
Yeah.
I think that's all I have for first impressions. Why don't you hit us with a synopsis and we'll get into the episode.
All right. It's June 16th, or no, it's not. It's June 6th, 1961. Sam leaps into Cam Wilson, a pimply teenager who is oh goodness, bullied by his peers for his geeky appearance and the fact he drives the slowest car on the boulevard. Cam's older sister Cheryl is engaged to a seemingly decent guy named Bob, who Sam discovers is actually an abusive alcoholic. That's a tongue twister. Haunted by memories of his own sister's brief marriage to a similarly abusive man, Sam is determined to stop the wedding. I really butchered that, and I'm so sorry.
You wanted to be like the Thompsons, right? Like you showed up with a beer, and now you're having a difficult time reading.
I
I think that's the
I've just been
Thompsons,
drinking
right?
iced
Odd
tea, I
Thompson.
swear.
Oh, was it okay? I saw something that looked like tea.
No,
I
it's
wasn't
just
sure.
iced tea. No.
Okay. All right. All right.
Maybe I should have
Okay.
drank
So
beer. I could see straight. Sorry.
maybe that would have helped a little bit. Some of the people, some of the guest stars here, we have Cheryl who is the sister, played by I'm gonna go with Romy, right? Romy Walthall. Walthall. Now I
Yeah,
did see that she passed away just a few years ago, so RIP. Bob, we talked about him, is played by Kevin's Spurtis. Is that what
Spurtus.
we were
That's
saying?
yeah.
Sorry, I had apologies. Still
We're
getting
falling
over a
apart
cold
here.
there. Yeah, we really are. Apologies. I tried muting my mic real quick just to like clear my throat, and then I didn't quite clear it when I came back. Anyway, Jill, who is the gal pal. I don't want to say love interest. The gal pal, played by Holly Fields here. Pencil. I didn't hear him called this, but Pencil is played by Jason Priestley. He's one of Bob's friends.
According to IMDb, he's pencil.
He's Pencil. Um, let's see, Bob's parents, Bill, is the dad there, played by no, I'm sorry, no, this is
No,
Will
Cheryl,
Wilson.
Cheryl and
Yeah,
Cam's.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cheryl and Cam's parents, my bad. Bill Wilson plays the father, Richard McGonigal. Love that name. Janie
killed it.
Wilson, the mom, played by Janet Carroll. Cam, the mirror image, is played by Scott Menville. Chuck Thompson is Bob's dad, Robert Costanza, and
Oh,
Mrs. Thompson. Sorry, did I mispronounce something? Robert
Costanzo.
Costanza. Constanzo, and Mrs. Thompson, the mother, played by Mary Pat Gleason, who also passed away a few years ago. I didn't look up all of them on IMDb, but those were like the two was the Mrs. Thompson and Cheryl. Those two actresses have since passed. Um, looking over this list, Mikey, is there anybody that you recognized off the bat at all?
So I don't, not by face, but I recognize the name Scott Menville, and then I couldn't figure out why, and then I clicked on IMDb, and um, he's a prolific voice actor in tons of video games, but I know him mostly for as the voice of Robin in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, Go Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go. Um, and I was like, oh, and then well, not that he talks in the episode, but I was excited. I popped. And also Robert Costanzo. When I heard his voice in the episode, I'm like, oh, I know that from somewhere, but I couldn't recognize it. And then I clicked on IMDb, and he is Harvey Bullock. Um, I don't remember Lieutenant. I don't, and Batman
Detective.
the Anderson
De-
Detective. Yeah,
Detective,
okay.
yeah, Detective Bullock.
Yeah, and Batman the Animated Series, he does the voice for him, and in a couple different video games, and then I think there's like been some Batman the Animated Series spin-offs, and he voiced him there too. So yeah,
Right, I did see that. Yeah, a lot of veteran actors, even at the time of this episode. I also I was familiar with Cam Scott Menville as well. I mentioned in the previous episode that he's one of the kids from Ernest Goes to Camp. And we discussed that he was also on Full and Fuller House as
yes,
Wayne, Kimmy Gibbler's a boyfriend. And for those that are kind of blanking, he was like the boyfriend that always very a man of few words, and when he would speak, he'd be like, "Whatever," right? Wasn't that his thing? Like that's all he would ever say was,
yes,
"Yeah." It just sounded like a stoner, and hilarious, very memorable characters. But yes, prolific voice actor. Speaking of voice, Holly Fields, also prolific in the voice acting. Fiona, Princess Fiona from Shrek, uh, done a ton of like Cameron Diaz stuff. Some others as well. Now, I don't know if you know this, Mikey, but Albie interviewed her.
I did see that actually, but I did not listen to
Oh,
it. So
yes, I listened to it today, and a fun episode. We can reference it when we get to certain things, but the kiss does come up. I was curious,
okay,
and
I have
yep,
things to say.
yeah. And so again, that was in season one, right? That Albie got some of these interviews. In his interview, there were a couple listener questions. One of them was me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, we have some listener questions. This one comes from Peter. I was like, whoa. I go ahead. There we go. So you guys, full circle. I at the very least made it into the feedback for Holyfield's interview when he reviewed Kamikaze Kid, and so I had asked, and when he read it, I go, man, that doesn't even sound like me writing. But like I always want to sound professional, when I'm emailing and what have you. And I asked her because she basically played opposite of Scott Bakula. Did she ever meet Scott Menville? I asked like if she had ever met the mirror image, like who played Cam, and no, she had not met him. So I thought
Oh,
that was very interesting. Yeah. So look, hey, yay me. So I was like, you know what, Peter from 2013? That's a good question.
a very young Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't even started podcasting yet. So and so there we go. Like when I said that I was a fan of Albie, like I wasn't lying. Like that was almost like an entire year before I became a podcaster. So I was listening to Albie, I was listening to like all these other podcasts, because I was about 2, 3 years into like discovering podcasts. And so once I felt like I had like an idea of what I wanted to do, that's when I would go on and start podcasting. And you guys, here I am, 13 years later. Crazy. All right. So, Mikey, where do you want to start?
Uh,
How
well,
about the
let's
leap in?
start. Yeah, let's start at the beginning. How about that?
So, how scary is that, right? Like in the middle of a drag race,
Yes.
and it's like under a bridge, and so you got like all these big pillars that you're trying to dodge. He's smoking. And then then he sees his a mirror image. So kind of like the previous episode, The Color of Truth, we get an extended um kind of introduction, I guess, before we actually see the mirror image. Whereas in the teaser, it's a lot more abbreviated, right? And then it just kind of gets to the point, just to kind of tease us, like, oh, this is who he leads into next.
Yeah. I think I've determined that there's no hard fast rules about which facial accessories transfer to Sam and not because he's not wearing braces, but he is wearing glasses in this. But in a different episode, when the mirror image was wearing glasses, he wasn't wearing glasses. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Not that they want to put
Yeah,
Scott Bakula in braces, but I get it. But yeah, I was just like, oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure like the prep, like I do wonder if that wouldn't be hair and makeup. That might actually be props, you know.
Yeah, they would have to make like a prosthetic or something to fit over his
Right.
teeth, maybe.
Yeah. And then, that would probably make him speak differently. So I can see why they didn't go with that. But now we know that Sam can leap into somebody and they can have something like braces and he can see it in the reflection, but yeah, he himself wouldn't have it. So yeah, very, very interesting. I wonder, I guess glasses. Yeah, I guess maybe if it's attached to you. I don't know. That I don't I think that one's gonna be hard to kind of like figure out in terms of like rule. Like that's just
Yeah.
gonna be I think they'll be a little bit more loosey goosey with that. I think they're really just playing up that Cam's a nerd, the whole pizza face and the
Yes.
braces. But we're just really nerd shaming here. Even Sam,
Very much
a
so.
little
Yes.
bit.
Yes.
Yeah, he at one point he was just like what is this, doesn't he ask like would you listen to me? You know, like and then Al's just like, yeah, you know, I get what you mean. You know, I'm just like,
Yeah,
what are
that
we
was in the
talking about?
bathroom. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Good Lord.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say so after the raid, I guess it was right. He heads to the was it a diner or drive up?
Yeah,
Uh, what do they call that?
like a drive up restaurant or not a drive-in restaurant, right?
Not, I don't. So they used to have them here. They were called Eaton Park in Pittsburgh. I mean, they still have Eaton Park, but you park and then you go inside to eat. Now it's not like Carside, but I don't know what that's actually what's that actually called? I don't know.
Does Sonic still do that?
Sonic still does that, yeah. Because
Okay,
yeah, I
interesting.
don't
I
know.
know
We're
there's not a
real
lot of those
dumb.
around either. Well, I mean, and
Yeah.
this stuff is old.
50 years
Yeah,
old. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to age
Um,
shame, but
yeah. So I don't know. I think he I have written down he immediately gets food thrown on him. Does that happen at the there? I forget now. I'm sorry if I
um, well,
at the
he does eat.
well, yeah, he eats like
Yeah,
a
his
they
food is brought to him and stuff. But he pulls up to the diner, which I'm also wondering. I don't want to call it a diner because it's not a diner. The restaurant, let's just call it. Um,
God damn
sorry, I
it.
keep getting a text message and I'm getting
Sorry.
distracted. Yeah.
Um Anyways, he's
No, go ahead.
there. Cheryl and Bob pull up Cheryl's sister. He Sam talks about how he has a craving for burgers and milkshakes, so I guess that's why he's drawn to this place. Um, Cheryl calls his name. Cheryl's name is on the side of the car, which is convenient because then he can figure that out. Um, so, starting to learn things and catch, put what's it? I don't know what the phrase is, but yeah. Uh, and then I believe he's talking to Cheryl, and then the Impalas are thrown around Jill's purse, and he catches it, gives it back to Jill. I think there's like a little bit of a look like, oh, okay, there's something between these two. You could kind of see that between
At
Kim and
least for
Jill.
Jill, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
has a
yeah.
bit of attraction for Cam here. We learn quite a bit. Bob is basically like the leader of the Impalas, a group of guys that I guess they all maybe drag race. I don't get the sense that they're into like any sort of sports. Like you know because they're in their 20s. They're in their early 20s. I mean,
Yeah,
and I'm only guessing that because we find out that Cheryl's 22, Cam's still in high
right.
school. So I'm assuming Bob and his friends are, you know, like in their early 20s. But yeah, we find out quite a bit. Like I said, we see Bob as a drinker because they focus him,
Oh, yeah.
you know, yeah, sipping out of that flask a couple times actually. Like it was the second time I felt was like, okay, no, I get it. He likes to drink. Like, well, I didn't think that we needed to see it a second time, like within seconds. But just excuse me, just in case we missed it, they did show us. But Jason Priestley, yeah, he's one of the guys. They just pick on Cam because he's a dork. He drives a Nomad. I kind of forget what he like. What is it? A Chevy Nomad? I don't even
Chevy
know, but
Nomad, yeah.
it is a Chevy. Okay, so they shade like his vehicle because it's like
A
you can't
station
even
wagon.
yeah, it's a station wagon, but also like you can't open the door from the inside. You have to open it from the outside. It's
Oh, yeah.
definitely yeah, it's like I don't not a passion project, but it's a junker, you know, like it's something that he was probably able to afford on his own dime and has been like working on it for a long time. We're gonna find out in a later scene with Cheryl that yeah, you know, he just works on his car and doesn't seem to have free time for other things at least important things. You know, his car is what he's really into. Um, let's talk about let's talk about Jill. I almost wonder, w- is Jill even necessary to the story? Because I was wondering if this is almost, I wonder if we have Jill for like, remember when we were on a fandom entanglement to talk about sliders,
I
and
do.
it was, yeah, it was either you or Mike who mentioned how, you know, basically like at some point sliders became it became a thing where almost every episode they just needed somebody for Jerry O'Connell to hook up with, kiss, or whatever. And I wonder if like that's why we have Jill, because like it's not gonna be Cheryl, that's his sister. She's like the only other woman, you know, uh in in the show, right? I mean, aside from the moms, you got the two moms, you got Jill and Cheryl, and that's it. And
You might
so
have
I
ruined the whole
wonder
entire episode for me.
it would have.
You might have ruined the whole thing. Um,
Ooh, me?
you, yeah,
Well, for
just
what
by
part?
just by pointing out that we didn't need Jill, I'm like, you know what? You're kind of right. We didn't really need Jill. You're right. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, Sam doesn't need to get. Sam's mission isn't to kiss a girl at the end, really. I mean,
right.
I don't. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, actually. Yeah, I don't.
It easily could have been a friend that's also a dork, right?
Yeah, but I will say I kind of did like that Cheryl was kind of playing matchmaker a little bit, so that was kind of sweet,
I
helping her brother
I
out.
absolutely. I love that sequence between Cheryl and Jill when they, go off to the side, and Cheryl finds out that Jill, kind of has a hots, for her brother. So I do like the character of Jill. I didn't think she was really necessary for the story. And then you're the one that actually revealed to me that Holly Fields was 13
Mm-hmm.
in the episode.
Yep. Yes, she
So
is.
Albie brought it up in the interview, and she didn't seem like embarrassed by it. She I think, like for Scott Bakula to be your first ever kiss, like that's something. That's not nothing, But
I'm jealous.
yeah, I'm same. I where's the line for that? But
So,
uh yeah.
all right. Well, since we're talking about, can at the I because I just rewatched it. I thought they would at least go for the kiss at the end where they put the hands like this. No, they made sure there's no hands. They zoomed right in on those lips to make sure that we saw that they were kissing each other. And I'm just like, I don't think that was necessary at all
Yeah,
to do that.
I think, like I can throw a few things out there just to like try to like smooth it over. I mean, I hate saying like it's a different time, but it kind of was. I mean, there's a moment at the dinner rehearsal where Bob's dad kisses Cheryl on the lips.
Oh, I have that in my notes. Yes, and I was like, ew.
Yeah.
It says, yeah, Bob's dad kisses Cheryl. Ooh.
So, I think at that time nobody's thinking about like, oh, the age difference, blah 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 blah. Like the times have changed, and obviously we are, you know, critiquing a show, from over 35 years ago. And I guess yeah, we're over 40 now, over 40 years, right? I can't math. I
No,
can't math right now. Yeah,
no,
let's not try
35.
to do math. Yeah, 35. Makes me feel younger if I say 35 years. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a different time. But also, she had done a few things at this point when she does make her appearance on Quantum Leap. I'm also wondering, like, did she just read the best? I don't know if there's like any sort of chemistry, right? Because like she's a guest star, so she's gonna be there for one episode. Of the other girls, that were there, maybe she looked the age, because she does look the age. She
Yeah, that's
plays
what I was
up her
gonna
age.
say. She doesn't look
Yeah.
13. I will say that. But
And she doesn't act 13. Like she's really good. Like her facial reactions, her moments with Cheryl, like that we just discussed, and also like during the kiss. Like like I know when it's coming, the kiss is coming, but if you watch Jill's face, or at least Holly's face, like the way she emotes and reacts, like that doesn't read 13 to me. So I think that's
Yeah.
what they saw. Like I think she was probably just right for the role, you know, despite her age. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
looking back at
I know.
with 2026 eyes, yeah, it's tough,
This
but
conversation's
she,
making me uncomfortable.
yeah, well, so she said, she said that it was kind of fatherly, like that's the way she looked at
Okay.
it.
All right.
He was a very sweet man. When he wasn't using it, he let her use his trailer. Like he did everything to make her comfortable on set. And Scott and Dean were very kind to her. She had nothing but great things to say about Quantum Leap. Even with DPB, Donna Peter Belisario, like she had great things to say about him, and apparently they were considering about having her back for a separate episode just to play like another role. Which so now I'm finding out that okay, yeah, the people they will have come back on, and she went on to make a guest appearance on Jag in an episode also with Dean Stockwell, and that was created by DPB.
Okay.
So yeah, so her experience was nothing but great. Again, she wasn't shy about answering that question. That sequence when it came up, like I had my ears to the speaker and my eyes were like, okay, here we go. And
I know.
it went as smooth as you like. Albie's a pro, right? And so
Yeah.
he handled it really well, and it was a very organic um conversation. And yeah, I did not get any sort of vibes that she was really weirded out by the experience nor the question. So hopefully
Okay.
that makes you feel better because it did me. Like I was like, okay, well, great.
I mean, if she's okay with it now, but I just don't think a 13-year-old can make that decision for themselves at that time.
Her
But
mom
it,
was yeah, her
I
mom was
know,
there
I know,
taking pictures. There was 300 people, filming them. Like yeah,
I know, I
listening to that
know.
interview made me feel better about it. If it's making you
Okay,
comfortable, I'll move it along. But
all
say
right.
go check it out because and she also sounds just like the sweetest person. Like I'm a little envious that Albie did interview her because I haven't committed to possibly reaching out to people that Albie has not yet interviewed. That's a lot of work. I have not committed to the idea of that. But I was just like, oh, I wonder if Holly Fields is still actively working. Yes, she is. And
Tons of
also
stuff.
she's done a ton of stuff, but also she's done a ton of interviews. And
Oh,
so
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So and I think she even did one on Fate's Wide Wheel, the other guys who also covered Quantum Leap. So yeah, so she's made the circuits, talking about the series and in her previous work. So um oh boy, a lot about Holly Fields, but I really did like her character. I like her a lot. But I'm just thinking hindsight, I'm like, not sure we really needed her. Like it could have been
I
anybody.
think you're right.
It could have been Cheryl helping Cam with his car later on, instead of her,
Yeah.
except for you probably don't want her to know, right? So we'll get there. We'll get there because
Yeah.
yeah, because maybe he's keeping that a secret from her and only Jill knows. So, but anyway, funny sequence. Sam gets pantsed and thrown at the garbage a can, a
Yeah.
dumpster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not just
and
completely nude. Yeah. I'm like, ugh.
right. And I do remember the sequence, and I just think it's the funniest thing. It's just well blocked. But Jill, I think she comes back from talking with Cheryl, and then she sees like the like the trail of like clothing, and she's like, what's all this? And it leads to the dumpster, and she finds Sam in there, and so I thought it was actually kind of cute when she was like, did this happen because you stood up for me, basically? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And she was just like, over the moon, by that. And we learned why
Super
because
excited.
she just had that conversation with Cheryl. Um, do you want to go to the Wilson's home?
Uh, well,
Do
so
you have
before
anything
that
else?
though, after that, Sam gets a bunch of food, and then he's talking to Al, and that's when we learn that Sam has a sister that was physically abused by her first husband. Um,
Correct.
She first got married at the age of 17, and she's actually been married more than once. And I kind of think that Sam sort of sees this as oh, and sorry, Al reveals that Cheryl gets is uh what is he? Hold on, I'm sorry. Al says that Cheryl gets that Bob is abusing Cheryl, which at first Sam doesn't want to believe it because they seemed fine, and that they don't ever go to the Peace Corps. Is that what it is? Sorry.
Yeah, the Peace Corps, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. So so Sam sort of sees this as a second chance to help his someone when he couldn't help his sister. So
Right. This is at least the second mention of the sister, right? The first time was in Double Identity, I believe. Maybe not Double
um
Identity. But there was a point that he mentions the sister. I feel like I
I
thought it
don't
was in the
recall.
yeah, for some reason I'm picturing like it was in the attic when he was talking to Al and this the sister comes up, but I could be mistaken. Um I'm probably mistaken. It might be earlier. Maybe it was in Genesis actually. Now that I think, I don't know. Anyway, but at least this isn't the first time he's mentioned the sister, but we are finding out more about that sister's past, I guess. Um, the yeah, so we find out that Bob likes to drink and he can get very physical. And so we learned that in the actual history that that gosh, what am I trying to say? She actually does not go to the Peace Corps. And what else did we find out? That was that it? Like Bob's just abusive and she doesn't join the Peace Corps.
Yeah, I get, and I don't think she ever turns him in. I don't know if they were still together. I don't know if we got that much information, but
Right.
yeah,
And we've heard it throughout the years. And I'm sure, unfortunately, some of us know people like in that situation, but there's that expression, like um that when people compare things to like an abusive relationship, it's hard. Like you can't get out of it. You feel like you can't go to anybody, or you start to apologize for your abuser and things like that. So I'm sure you didn't think it was going to be this heavy going into the episode.
no, I didn't, and and I was even thinking, I don't know if you have an answer to this, but were we? I don't know if concerned is the right word, but were we aware? Were there many TV episodes about physically abusive relationships in the 1980s? Like, I don't remember any other show that dealt with it. I don't know.
There's an episode of Full House where Stephanie had a classmate that was abused by his
Oh,
father.
yes, yes,
And yeah,
yes.
and they had a PSA at the end of that episode, and that's something that always stuck with me. Not that I got beat by my parents, but I got disciplined, you know.
Yeah,
That
same.
was, normal from I hate to say normal, but like, discipline devices, like we just thought that was kind of normal. Um,
So maybe that was just something we first became aware of in the 80s, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I
at
was just
least
curious about that.
yeah, at least being yeah, a little bit more aware and trying to spread awareness, for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll pick up from Cam goes home. This is It kind of reminded me a little bit of Back to the Future, where Marty shows up or wakes up in the Baines' residence.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He walks home and is unfamiliar, not sure what to do, doesn't know who's around him. Yeah, yeah, I could
Yeah,
see that definitely.
and then Sam already mentioned earlier, I think I think it was a voiceover, he mentioned like by the license, his driver license, like he learned what his name was and stuff like that. So obviously that's how he knows how to get home. Good on Sam, not having a like a GPS or maps, like he just knows. his way
Knows
around,
knows his way around the city. Yeah.
just by the address. So maybe that's one of his other doctorates, that we haven't learned about yet, that he just, knows geography. Um,
Directions. Yeah.
directions, yes. So when I first watched the episode for the rewatch, um, I was like, oh, when he talks to Cheryl, right? Like that moment. I'm jumping ahead a little bit because I know we see the dad first. But I was just like, oh, I could say this as the Back to the Future moment, like this is the scene where Lorraine puts Marty's pants on her hope chest, hope
Yeah.
chest.
Hope chest. Yep.
Okay. And then she says hope chest. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
She
And
sure
I know,
does.
yes, I know it was a common thing back then, but I was just like, the fact that we're doing this, pointing things out that remind us, things of Back to the Future, like, yeah, these things just pop out now. But well, yeah, what did you think about the dad? Under, I would say underused, but not in a lot of sequences. This is his, you know,
Big
biggest
scene,
scene
pretty
right here.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was all right. He was I guess, a stereotypical 1960s dad. Oh, that's my boy. Gives him a little punch and sends him on his way. I kind of, Cam's in trouble and he sends him to his mother. So.
What do you think about the family? Do you like I do wonder why are they written this way? Like I wonder if there's something at home that makes Cheryl want to try something different, right? Like,
Oh,
explore with her life. You know what I mean? Like at home it's a little
maybe it's
vanilla,
just too mundane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dad's watching TV in his underwear all the time. Mom's just,
with her,
being a stay-at-home mother. At least that's the impression I get. I don't know if she works. Um,
was
but
she dyeing
I
her own hair with all that foil in her hair?
oh, I thought it was like alien related. She didn't want to get up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
But yeah,
sure.
yeah, no, I think yeah, I think she was probably putting color in her hair for the wedding. It's what we're
Oh,
we're
yeah.
finding out that yeah, it's going to be in about 3 days. But yeah, I thought I do like the running gag that everyone seems to keep hitting Sam like on the same arm.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's fun and that just keeps carrying over to literally just about everybody. Did you have any more thoughts on the dad? Bill.
No, not nothing
Yeah.
really, yeah. Just kind of seems like an
So
easy kind of going guy, yeah.
right. So we see the mom, right? You already mentioned her makeup, not actual makeup, but like her getup, basically the way she looks, the stuff in her hair, a little. It definitely caught Sam off guard for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, you mentioned the dad, said that, oh, your mom's looking for you, and I think it's the funniest thing when she's just like, "What is this?" And he's just like, "It's it's an old Playboy." She's like, "Well, Miss May looks pretty fresh to me." Like I thought that was such a great response, from the mom.
Yes. But even before that, I just like that she's yelling, Cameron, Cameron, like the sing-songy voice.
Yeah,
It's funny.
they're definitely characters, and I would love to know like the direction of that. Is that just written that way? Like the mom's a
Yeah.
bit of a bit of a character. Now tell me what you think about this. If you picked up on it, do you know how the Playboy was found?
Yeah. The housekeeper found it, and
Okay, yeah,
this is their fourth housekeeper in the
in almost a
year.
year, in like
Yeah.
10 months or something like that.
What is
9, 10
happening in
months.
this house, Peter?
Are okay. So she mentions this most recent one did the cross. I'm assuming Catholic, right? I don't know who does, right? Maybe
Christian,
just
sure.
religious. I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So she does the cross thing, the religious cross
Even before that,
with her
but
finger.
even more than Christian,
You know,
but yeah, good. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've mentioned several times. I'm not. I don't know this. The religious
Yeah.
stuff here. And so yeah, the mom says the housekeeper she saw the nudie magazine did the cross thing on herself and said stuff in Spanish. And so I guess I guess I kind of I guess I'm forgetting because I never really knew this and I only know this from like pop culture, but I guess around that time it was super taboo, right? So I think maybe that's what it is. I think these housekeepers are just like, no, I cannot deal with your teenage
These
son.
playboys are so
Yeah,
offensive that people are quitting their jobs. That's
it
what's
could be like
happening.
okay, because like again, like I like the way I found nudie magazines was in like the parks and the schools, top of the roofs, that were
In the
just
woods
thrown
is where
away.
I found
Yeah,
them.
in the
Yeah.
woods. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So, I never saw the movie with Woody Harrelson, The People versus Larry Flint, and I know that's like uh much more gratuitous than your Playboy, but
Yes.
1961, I don't know how long Playboy's been, but I can only imagine how the public was receiving something like that. I mean, remember, like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mike and Carol Brady from the Brady Bunch, I believe they were the first couple to be seen in the same bed together.
I believe
Is
that's
that
true. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
See, so you had like other shows where the parents would sleep in separate beds, and I don't even know if that's how things were, but maybe for t like television purposes or movies, that's I think they couldn't be seen. I think it was the same kind of thing with movie Psycho. Like I don't think you could go a toilet, or maybe that was the first time you seen a toilet in a bathroom or something. There's some sort of
Really?
weird trivia about that too. Yeah. And so yeah, so you got to think about like the censorship back then. It was a whole new level
What an
that
insane
uh,
thing.
I know because everything's just readily available now for free. Crazy. But yeah, so
Um,
that's what I was wondering. I was just like I wonder if they just keep finding these nudie magazines and just like I can't with your kids.
Cam, find better hiding spots, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Wedged in like the laundry, like his hamper or something, his clothes,
Yeah,
like laundry
that's
basket.
who. Come on, you could do better than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a very common place is like under the mattress, but that's too. Yeah, but I don't know what his room is. There's got to be somewhere else. Um, I've
Hide it in the
yeah,
momobile.
there you go. But then I don't know if you get pulled over and find out. Like, I mean, could you get in trouble? I don't know. Like you have to be a certain age to buy it. I feel so. I don't know.
Just tell the
Um,
police you'll share.
There you go. It's like,
Yeah,
well, the police are confiscated anyway. We already know.
true, true.
Um, I love this little bit too. It's just again, this is why I talk about the writing because they give you all these like little things that just makes this family feel more real. Not even the family, but like the characters individually. Like before Cam walks off to his room, his mom, Janie, she was like, where are you going? And he's like, to my room. She goes, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh
And
yeah,
she wants that kiss. And I just love that because like
it was so
we
awkward.
didn't,
I loved it.
well, yeah, like we don't need it, but like the fact that Sam's like, a 35-year-old man who still has a kiss like, a mom on the cheek because, he's supposed to be a 17-year-old kid. So I do
Yes.
find that funny. So I just love like those little touches. So we get a really great scene with Sam and Cheryl. And so what are some things that you picked up from this sequence?
Well, first off, when Sam is walking past, Cheryl shouts, "Is that Tab Hunter walking past?"
I meant to
Uh,
look that up. I did not.
yeah. So he is a like a hunky movie star who is now an out gay man. Might be,
Oh, interesting.
um,
Okay.
he might be deceased. I'm not sure, but and if he's not, I'm so sorry. Um, I doubt he's listening to this. It's okay. Um, uh. But yeah, so he was like a hunky movie star at that time, and that was in reference because Jill was into him. Um, but they're first of all, I liked she asked, she's talking about Jill, so she asks Sam, "Are you gonna be taking Jill to the wedding?" And Sam says she's a little too young for me. And and
Yes.
Cheryl's like, "Well, she's only like a year behind you." Um, uh,
He passed away
but
in 2018.
2018. Okay, thank you. All right,
Yeah.
I feel a lot better. Thank you. Um, and then then they start relating about their childhood. They start reminiscing about different stuff, and like one of it, like an ironic line. They're talking about like I guess they got into a fight, and then Cam went and told his mom, and Cheryl said, just this one time you had visible evidence because I gave you a scratch on your face, and I was like, that's kind of like a little foreshadowing to what happens to Cheryl. So I don't know. It was kind of a weird, not that she has a scratch on her face, but she gets bruises later. But yeah, so
Right. Yeah, there
um,
in that very story that she's sharing, what happened was he broke her "Love Me Tender" record, an
oh
eldest nod
yes,
there
yes, thank you.
is
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
And and he was like, "Oh, yeah, that's what you get for yeah, leaving it on the floor. Yeah, that's it. Leave it on the floor." And she's like, "Ugh, it was on my hope chest."
yes,
So, but
yes,
yeah,
yes.
I just love how Sam has to like it was on the floor question mark like like you could almost hear it the way he says it too, like not 100% certain, obviously.
Or actually, Cheryl's line was, "At last, you had visible evidence that I abused you," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Um, and then I guess tells us that Bob won't go to the Peace Corps unless they get married first. And then Sam is like trying to persuade her, saying, well, maybe he isn't the right guy for you. And Cheryl defends him. And then, like, in a weird line, says, well, it's too late. I'm getting married in 3 days. So, you know, it kind of looked like she was having second thoughts at that point. Like, I kind of picked up on that. But, you know,
Hmm, interesting. Well, I don't know if she was having second thoughts, but I think she's confused. I mean, she says it too, where she's like, you used to think the world of Bob, and now you're telling me to not marry him, and it's like 3 days away. So yeah, I'm sure in her mind it's like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah,
Like where did this come from? What started this? And Sam's not really giving her anything else. He just knows that okay, how do I get her to go to the Peace Corps still, and maybe somehow you know, um, not go through with the wedding. Now, I don't remember, but was this the first time we learned that it was in 3 days?
yes. Yeah,
Okay. See, so that was the other thing. So Sam probably didn't realize like how soon it was. Um,
I believe so.
like I mentioned the mom doing her hair, like that's because I have knowledge that the wedding is coming up. So I'm thinking maybe she's doing her hair for for the wedding. Um, I'm trying to remember if there's anything else, but obviously Sam finds like this like wasn't it like an autograph photo of JFK in her room?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
she says you could have met him too, but I think he was probably working on the car, I believe, and that's
That's
why
what it
you
was. Yeah. She said
Yeah.
instead of working on the campaign, you were working on the Nomad, like something like that. That I
Okay,
was
yeah.
just like, oh, okay. It's like so she was into like the politics and stuff like that. And I think, like I didn't study like the presidents or anything like that. But what I do recall is that I think like JFK did appeal like to like the youth as well.
I believe
Um,
so.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so that kind of made sense for this character. Um, was that pretty much it for the scene?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so is the next sequence when I think
We're
it's
working on the car
okay, he's working on the car. Okay, with
with
Jill,
Jill. Yeah. And
right?
he says that um bu- 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 bu-
Cadillac converter or something.
yeah, something. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to come up with. I thought I had it written down, but I don't. And um Jill's helping him, and basically, like, knows what's wrong, but he doesn't know how to fix it. Like he is sort of his
Liar.
memories and Cam's memories kind of mixed in there. And so he kind of not tricks Jill, but says Jill
He does.
says
He
she
tricks
knows how
her.
to fix it. Yeah,
He
okay.
tricks
She
her.
he tricks her and says, hey, I bet you can't do it. And she's like, yes, I can. And then
That's basically it. So
yeah,
I do like, you know what? This would have been fine if it was like a TV movie. If we got more of Jill, like I think I have an idea. I think I know what they were trying to do. Like, Jill is like kind of this tomboy. She knows about cars, and her and Cam have that connection, that commonality, that um connective tissue basically is like cars. But I don't think we really know that. So if we can get some scenes of them. I mean, this is it, but it's like such a short scene, and we're like, okay, well, yeah, Jill knows stuff about cars. That's gonna pay off later when Sam needs help with the Nas, right?
yeah,
So all the things are kind of there. But if it was longer, a 1 hour show, I mean, it essentially is a 1 hour show, but it had all the commercials and stuff. But if this was longer, like I feel, like the fact that both of us really enjoyed the episode and kind of questioned like, oh, that, and the other thing. It was a little bit longer. If we can get more scenes and some more, like, I think this episode does great with exposition, because there's a lot of great stuff that we just kind of pick up on like through dialogue. But yeah, if this could have been a little bit longer, I think it would have been like a really, really good TV movie. Um, I don't think there was really much else there, but they are bonding, and we do find out that Jill knows a little bit more about cars than Sam does, albeit that it's an older car that maybe Sam wouldn't be privy to, right? So maybe she knows it
that's
better
true.
because, yeah, maybe Sam knows more about, the cars that are. I don't know. I do think it's funny that like a quantum physicist doesn't know. I'm not saying he should
Yeah,
be like a car expert, but I do think like there's probably some pretty basic maintenance that he should know. That's just, I don't know.
I would assume so, but I don't know.
If your head's in the books all the time and studying, and you're going to MIT at 12 years old or whatever the age is, yeah, I'm sure he had no time to learn about cars. No, I totally get it.
True.
Yeah, so
Um,
let's see,
y-
Al shows up temporarily. Is this when Sam catches him? Like he finds out that like Al tried to come in early to watch Cheryl change.
yeah, he was there for the whole bridal shower. He was looking at stuff saying, "Oh, Tina would look good in this." And
Oh, no, no, no. He said Tina would
oh,
would
Tina
look
would look
good
good
without that
without
on.
this. Yes, without that
Without
on.
that on.
Yes. Yes, my bad.
Funny
Yes.
line, problematic, but it
Yes.
is funny.
Yes.
It suits Al. I'll say that much. Because like when I heard it, I go, wait, 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 did he just? And I thought about it, I go, he did say that. Huh, that was funny. So that was my reaction. I think I don't remember when it happened, but did we already miss the point where Al shows Sam like the new thing he picked up recently, the car or a picture of
That's
a
at the
woman on top
very,
of the
very
car?
end.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a note for that at all?
Um, yeah, I think I do.
Well, if you do, I'll just mention it now, just in case you don't have much to add since I brought it up anyway. But
I just put Al buys a car.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that Al is showing Sam the picture and apparently is from earlier in the day, so that means that Al was excited enough that he wanted to go to like the 1 hour photo, to get the pictures
Oh,
washed
I
and
see what you're
just to
saying.
show Sam. Yeah, yeah. Because like usually the 1 hour was like a special service, right? Like if it wasn't the 1 hour photo, then you're throwing that in there, they'll tell you when it's ready, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah,
It's
that
been a
was a
minute.
thing.
It,
Yeah.
it really was. Um, okay, so what did you think about this sequence with Sam and his mom the next day? I do love the point where she was like, "How many times did I tell you not to walk in the house with all that grease?" He's like, 207.
Yeah. I mean, it was a
I
teenager line. I mean, that's something my
it
teenager would say to me. So,
it
yeah.
really was, yeah. I thought it was funny. I felt it was maybe a little out of character for Sam. I mean, like she's the mom, you know,
Yeah.
and growing up on a farm and having all these, etiquette and stuff like that. I don't feel like Sam would have said something like that to who's supposed to be his mom because he's the leapy, or did I say that right? Yeah, I think that's right. The mirror image, right? So it's
Yeah.
Cam. That's Cam's mom. That's your mom essentially. And so I don't know, but maybe he's picking up that the family is a little, marches to the beat of their own drum. Maybe not even that. They seem relatively normal, but like the hair thing the other evening, I don't know if it was the previous night, but I just thought the line is funny, but I was just like, but that's supposed to be your mom. Like you could have got like a little whack in the
Maybe
back
it
of the
was
head there for
still
that.
a
I don't
little
know.
Cam inside him. I don't like.
Could be,
Yeah.
could be. We can probably say that. That's not something they're trying to introduce, but it's a great answer, because
Yeah. I don't know. So,
yeah,
quick question for you. That's
yeah,
totally off topic. So sorry. When Sam looks at his hands, is he looking at
yeah.
his own hands or is he looking at Cam's hands?
His own.
Okay. All right. I wasn't
Wait,
sure.
no, wait, crap. That's a good question.
Like,
Um,
when
I
we see
I
Sam, they're just showing us Sam because it's Scott Bakula, like, so we know who he is. But like,
yeah, I believe Sam sees his own body, but the reflection will always be the lead B.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and that's a little bit of future knowledge.
okay. I
Yeah.
was just
So
honestly, I was wondering because he got stripped down, and I was like, what's he looking at there? Just
himself,
wondering.
he's
Okay,
definitely looking at it himself. Yeah, I had to think about like a few different episodes, that I'm
fair
like
enough.
trying to find the answer for. Like, okay, okay. So this sequence, I thought it was really interesting because I was questioning. I was like, why did the mom and Cheryl get into kind of like this? Yeah, I'd say it's a heated exchange. Janine, no, Janie feels some type of way that Cheryl's going to be wearing Bob's mother's dress, which doesn't fit her. Um,
Yes,
and so we get the impression that I'm sure Janie had a dress that she would have preferred Cheryl to wear. And so I don't have a good story reason for that to happen, but it puts Sam and Cheryl outside, and for her to be like, "Oh, can you help me with the back, right, of the dress?" And then Sam sees the bruises. And so it sets up like perfectly, like the upcoming sequence. But in terms of a story, I couldn't figure out like why
I,
why that was a thing.
yeah, I think it was the wedding dress thing. I think she was upset about that. I think she was supposed to wear, Cheryl was supposed to wear her mother's wedding dress. I think daughters and mothers have fights every once in a while, from what I've gathered. I've never been a daughter or a mother, but so and honestly, because I've never really tried to strangle anyone, I never really even realized about bruises on the back of a neck before. So that was
Right,
that
right.
was
Well,
that was a
well,
revelation to me.
I've never tried to strangle anyone per se, but I had to learn how to do chokeholds, army, right? So
Oh, okay.
yeah, we actually had to do hand-to-hand combat, and some guys actually successfully put other guys to sleep, in headlocks and stuff like that. So but we had the to tap, we could tap out and stuff like that, but some guys they I guess wanted to be experienced, like, being put out or whatever. Anyway, so I've had a little bit of experience of having it done to me and vice versa. So uh yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about the Cheryl and her mother. But you're right, fights happen all the time. But I was just trying to think like, oh, I wonder how it escalated to this. But I do like what it sets up. Yeah, Cheryl is outside because she ran after her mom who speeds away off in her car. And so Sam comes out and she's, basically, can you help me with the dress? And Sam's like, sure. And as she turns around and Sam's like helping her like button the back or zip it up, he sees the bruising. And yeah, she, says that she fell, which Sam or Al mentioned earlier that that's, what she says, right? Like, oh, she always blames it like on fall or whatever. And so here's that again. Also, like, how'd you fall on your neck? Okay, all right, no, bad lie.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then I love this that Sam's telling her like don't apologize for him. As like Bob's pulling up with the flowers, Sam deduces that the flowers are for because of the bruises. He's wanted to apologize. Probably been drinking again, 100% certain that he was drinking again, and
Yeah.
and that's what led to it. Um, I'll have you speak before I add anything else.
No, I didn't have much. I did like how Sam stood up to Bob here. I wondered if
Stiff armed
Cam
him,
and the
right?
what's that?
Like he stiff armed him. Like football.
Y
Just
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And
like no,
I wonder
yeah,
if
because Bob was going to go inside the house because Cheryl runs inside the house. It's like, it's bad luck for you to see me in the dress. And so that's why
yes.
Bob's going to try to go into the house with the flowers. But Sam's like,
Yeah,
stop right there, buddy.
and then I wonder if past Cam was even remotely doing this at all, or probably not, but yeah. So
Probably not, because Cheryl said that, Kim thought the world of Bob, and so I think,
yeah.
yeah, he probably wanted to be an Impala, but he looks like a dork and he drives a beater.
Yeah.
Sorry, no pun intended there at all. Um, a junker. So for those that are listening at home, Mikey face palmed himself. Yeah, it is called a beater too, right? Junkers are also beaters.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
You're
You're
getting red
right.
there, my
Yep.
friend. That's not. I'm not talking about blowing anybody. That's like in that one episode,
No,
the
but it's just because
right hand of God.
Bob's also a beater. So there's that. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
It don't take much for me to get red. Um,
Yeah. I love the exchange here. I love the exchange. Sam,
yes.
it's like, oh, are the flowers, basically for like an apology, is it for the bruises? And Bob plays dumb. I don't know what you're talking about. And,
Yeah.
he's
Mm.
like, yeah, the bruises on the neck, it's a lot like when someone does this. And then did you expect that? Did you expect Sam to grab him?
No, no. Yeah, no, I was not expecting that, but I loved it. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah. I love the music cue and it gets tense. Like it's
yes.
probably one of the most tense sequences in the scene. I immediately flashed to this scene earlier when you were giving your first impressions and said that, you felt like real stakes. And so
Yes.
yeah. So
I
I
kind of thought
yeah.
they were gonna get a fight right there, actually, honestly, when the first on the first watch. I was like, are we gonna get like into a fist fight here? But
That would have
yeah.
been real nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bob needs a few of those. I think he's owed a few actually. Hopefully there's rain checks to be cashed.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Receipts.
Receipts, yeah. And now, um, yeah, Bob says, tell Cheryl that he'll pick her up later for the dinner rehearsal. All right, so we're at the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Bob's dad shows up late, and you immediately get the dynamic of the Thompsons. I believe is their last name, Bob's family.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was late, already drinking. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Mom, she does not look happy.
Looks
Uh,
very fed up with all this. Yes.
all of it, all of
Yes.
it, and neither moms are talking to each other. But I do feel like they exchange glances, or is it just because they were cutting back and forth between the moms?
I don't know if they exchanged glances, but they both made like what the F faces, like you know,
Yeah.
because
So I think what the show is doing is I think they're trying to let the viewers like, hey, look at the Thompsons. They are clearly unhappy. You as a viewer, you want Cheryl to go to the Peace Corps. Let her like. Go
Please.
explore. Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you stay here, you could end up like I don't think if you ended up like your own parents would be the worst thing in the world, but look at the Thompsons. They do
Uh,
not look like a happy family, at least the parents. You know,
yes.
both Chuck, Chuck and his son Bob, they're buddies, they're pals. Like that's probably the closest relationship I feel here. Um, I don't
And they're
know.
both
I don't
drunks.
get to. Yeah, yeah, right. They probably drink together and all of that. He learns all of the douchebaggery from his dad for sure. Um, all right, what do you want to talk about here?
Um, I
Sam's at the kids' table.
Yeah, well, before that, when they were rehearsing, I was actually shocked that Sam was, or Cam Sam, was the best man. He was right there, right next to Bob, um, and then Brandon Walsh, and then some other guy. But yeah, I was shocked that he
Brandon
was,
Walsh.
yeah, that that he was the best man in that. But yeah, he's sitting at the kids' table, and then Mr. Thompson gives a very drunken speech. Um. I don't remember what he says here.
I think he toasts to like the waiter, like to the one waiter, right?
It the or why let's thank who the reason why we're all here, the
Oh,
wine
the one
waiter.
waiter.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the
okay.
wine waiter. I thought he said like the one waiter.
Oh, maybe it was the one waiter. I thought he said wine waiter. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I think there's a waiter that just serves wine. Yeah, that's like a thing.
Oh,
Like there's just a
I
like a
would have
wine. Like when you go to fancy dinner, there's like just a wine guy who has a fancy
sure.
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I almost assumed that. Yeah, I thought he just meant like the one waiter that is bringing them the drinks. That's the way I took it.
I
So
mean,
that's
same
interesting.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Um,
So, kind of a whatever toast for sure.
yeah. Then Bob gives a toast, and he says the line that I kind of thought was funny. He says, "No one knows what the future holds for me and Cheryl." Yeah, we do. Uh, and then
Well,
he,
funny you mentioned that line because like earlier, Cheryl talks about like, oh, remember when you were dressed as Zorro leaping around? And I'm just like, I, I see what you guys did there, leaping, and then now,
oh,
yeah, then
I
Bob
didn't catch that
mentions
yet,
the
but
future. Oh yeah, yep,
yeah,
leaping
yeah, yeah.
around in your Zorro costume or something like that. Yeah.
Good call. Yeah. And then Bob reveals that he bought Cheryl one of the most romantic gifts you can give your wife at a wedding. Really, when you're about to get married, you'd buy your wife a color TV. And
Wow, he must be rich.
yeah, I'm just yes,
Yeah, Back
yes,
to the Future moment. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm sure they have multiple TVs, so clearly they're rich. But yeah, a color TV. Hello.
yeah.
Um, it was fine. Yeah, I do like that the speeches do progressively get like a little better and better. Like Bob's speech was fine, and he presents like a wedding gift to Cheryl. But Sam's speech, if you like to talk about that.
I would love to talk about that because it was honestly an amazing um, moment of the episode. So Sam taps his glass of milk, as you do at the kids' table, and
Hilarious.
gives this amazing speech about how he's proud of his sister Cheryl, and for answering John Kennedy's call to ask to not what to what's the line? Ask not what to do for your
Now,
country, but
yeah, what your country can do for you, but what you can do
what
for your
you can do for
country.
your country. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Sorry. And sorry, smart people that know it off by heart. Um, and he says he's proud of her, which was a really sweet moment. And then he thanks Bob for getting color TV because there's no electricity in Tonga, so he'll just take a hold of it, no problem. And
Yeah, he'll be able to watch Bonanza in color. So
yeah.
he'll be
Ah,
holding onto
yeah.
that TV. Yeah.
Yes. And then so that was a great moment. I loved it. And then
I do
um
love the speech because like he took everything that he learned from that night in her room, talking to her about JFK, but also, like the introduction of Cheryl, like Sam tells Al, moments later when Al pops up, it's like, oh, this is what you need to do, like stop Bob, from marrying Bob. X, Y, and Z. And Sam's like, no, but she's so like full of life and blah blah blah. And so using all of the moments that he has spent with her and put it all into this little speech. So I felt the speech was super earned. And I could have done without the, Al saying like, "Hey Sam, that was a very nice speech." Like I don't know if I needed him to say that, just like maybe,
True.
because it almost like it doesn't ruin the moment, but I just personally for me, it took a little bit from it, because I almost feel that like by Al saying that it kind of undermines like Sam a little bit. Like, oh, I didn't think you were worthy of a speech like that. That's almost how it came off to me, only critically speaking.
Yes. And then, well, so right after that, Brandon Walsh throws food
I just
at
love how you're just gonna keep calling him Brendan Walsh, not
y-
Pencil, not Jason
no,
Priestley,
I refuse to call him Pencil. Um, yeah, it
and
throws
also
food. Yeah.
just Jason Priestley real quick for the longest time, because I don't think I knew a lot of other kids that were watching 90210 when I kind of was, and if even if they did, we didn't really talk about it at school. It wasn't like, your Full House, your Saved by the Bell type show, to be talking about at school. But for the longest time, I never really paid attention to the spelling of his last name, Priestley. So I thought it was Jason Presley for the longest time, thinking that he was possibly related to Elvis. And then I found out it was Priestley because of the I. So I was just like, oh, and the T, obviously. But yeah, dumb kid. I was only, what, 6, 7 still at this point?
Spoiler, he's not related to Elvis. Um,
Yeah. Oh, damn, what a shame.
yeah, so and then this was my least favorite Al moment. Al's just shouting, "I
Food
love
fight.
food fight, food fight, food fight," and I'm just like, "All right, man, like I don't know."
Yeah,
But
settle down, Al. No one can hear you. Number
yeah.
one, and number two, you want Sam to get like okay, like like that could be fun. That's a little funny, but you're right. That's something I could have done without as well.
And then actually, I forgot to mention too. They actually so before that, they throw food at him because they see him Sam talking to no one, and actually
Right.
they showed him talking to no one, which they normally don't do. They normally just show him talking to Al, but they cut Al out at one point, and they show Sam is just talking to nobody for it was only a few seconds, but yeah,
Oh,
it was right
you
before
might be right. Or
yeah,
so are
because
you
I don't
saying that this might be the first time that we see Sam actually not talking to anybody?
I think it is.
Star-crossed. When Al and Sam were at the school and there was like two female students behind him, didn't I feel like they might have seen him talking to nothing then?
Um.
Because you
You
saying that had to make made me like really think about that. I was like, are you sure?
you could be right. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not like dead set that this is the first moment, but let's say it's one of few.
That you have at least point noticed to point out. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then and then Sam is talking to Al and says, "Why don't we should go to the restroom?" And a very young Michael Belisario is sitting at the table and says, "I don't have to go." And that's the Belisario's son, I guess, making it looks like his first and of a few appearances in the show.
Yeah, yeah. Usually when they need a
Um,
kid, they'll throw him in. Yeah, I think he
yeah,
made 5 appearances.
yeah. And then we go to the bathroom, and
Oh, sorry, I don't need to go.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
favorite moment of the episode?
Okay, so I need to talk about this. So, well, first of all, we get Sam's talking to Al, and he's saying like, "I'm not having much headway here, trying to talk Cheryl out of marrying Bob." And it's kind of a serious moment. And then we get a toilet flush. And so okay, so let me I'm gonna make a reference that I listened to this podcast and I became friends with the host. It's called the Franchise Podcast. It's Franchise Pod on YouTube. It's been going on for like 10 years. One of the hosts, Daniel Ehrenberg, I text with him every once in a while. But anyways, he came up with this term called the Ghost BJ.
BJ? Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll call it that. Just keep it a little bit clean.
yeah, and that's because he contends that Ghostbusters is a perfect movie be except for one scene that makes no sense in the whole entire movie. It's just when a ghost is giving a BJ to a Ghostbuster. I don't remember which one.
It was Ray,
Okay, yeah,
Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
it made no sense in the movie and in an otherwise perfect movie. I think this is a perfect episode, except for this scene because just it ruined the whole thing for me, honestly. So a toilet flushes, a young Michael Jackson comes out of the bathroom. Actually, I don't even think he was there with Scott Bakula because at that point, it's like we see the reflection of Scott Menville, and he kind of turns towards the stall when little Michael Jackson is coming out. And then I guess we're saying Rockin' Robin starts playing out of nowhere, I guess over a speaker. Not even the Jackson 5 version of Rockin' Robin. Um,
Which I do believe their version comes out later. I don't know. I don't know if the song is playing for them. I think we hear the song just for the scene.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. Well, that is
But
true because
yeah,
actually, in 1961, the Jackson Five haven't even formed yet or even started. And
right.
like Michael
And
Jackson's
Michael was
only,
like three or four, maybe even
I
younger. Yeah, three
I think
maybe.
like two or three. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
So
uh,
yeah,
yeah, and then he just Sam teaches him how to dance, I guess, for some odd reason.
they
Like,
have a dance off in the bathroom.
yeah.
So yeah, I remembered the scene, obviously. And I remember it being random. And upon the first rewatch, I was like, not only is it random, it's extremely out of place. Like they're from Indiana, but this takes place in California. And like you said, the Jackson 5 hadn't really yet been formed yet, but I don't know the timeline and stuff like that. Let's just toss Michael's age out at this time. In terms of like the continuity, they wanted to put this in here, but maybe they could have still been doing talent shows and stuff like that. Because I did see what was it called, like the Jacksons and An American Dream, that came out like a few couple decades ago or so. Angela
Oh
Bassett, I
yeah,
believe,
that
was the mom. Yeah,
documentary-ish kind of movie, or what?
yeah,
Not
the
documentary, but
dramatized, yeah,
yeah,
dramatized TV movie.
yeah.
I do feel before they actually formed, I remember like their dad was putting them in talent shows and stuff, and as they were getting popular, I think that's when they started the band. I could be completely wrong. I am not the guy, I'm not a Jackson 5 historian.
Me
Um,
neither.
but like I'm trying to like explain away some of these things, but like geographically doesn't make sense. Also, like yeah, this wasn't the episode for it. You know,
No.
the dance off, and also it's this is baby Michael. This
Yes.
is baby Michael, and you're teaching him the moonwalk, which number one, Sam can dance. That's awesome. You're teaching baby Michael the moonwalk now, but he doesn't do it until his performance of Billie Jean in I think that was 1983, 84.
I was gonna say 82, but sure. Yeah. Somewhere
Could
around
be
there.
82, early 80s. So you're telling me baby Michael already had the moonwalk in his pocket, but he waited several decades so it's just like in terms of the
Yeah.
timeline, it's just super random and out of place. Yeah. Not my favorite kiss of with history.
No, and like I get what they're doing, but like let's go back to the Future. Like when it happens in Back to the Future, it's part of the plot, and it's kind of like it's part of this has no place. There's no reason for this. This has no
I completely
bearing on the
agree. Right.
story at all. So that's why I hate it even more. But what I even hated the most, Peter, Michael Jackson, I'm gonna assume crapped in that stall, and he didn't wash his hands. He
Well,
just came.
okay.
Yes.
He's very little. He's short in stature, right? Baby Michael. Okay. I don't think 1961 did they have urinals that were short enough for someone his size. So he's going potty in that stall. I know he's by himself, but
Why is he by
a young
himself?
kid, well, because the scene's got to work.
Okay.
Because then
Nope.
his brother would be inside waiting for him, and then we're gonna be like, well, who's that kid? And
No,
then
no one
because
was
it's
there to tell him to wash his hands, and
well,
this really upsets me more than
he
anything.
was wearing gloves. He was wearing
He
white gloves,
he definitely
so
was, which makes it
he's probably
worse.
gonna toss those and then wear
I
new
would hope
ones.
so. I hope those go in the garbage.
Yeah, but
Um,
I do love we see Sam's feet doing the moonwalk, and then we're gonna cut to some grown ass adult feet also doing the moonwalk. That's supposed to be baby
yep,
Michael
yep. He Michael Jackson has huge feet, huge feet.
for a 3-year-old. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so by the way, whatever older brother that was, whoever, Jermaine, I don't
Uh,
know which older that one that was supposed to
okay.
be.
So I had two guesses based off of I was looking at like their ages, and I just went with like either the next one up or the one or the number one up or number two up from Michael, and so that's gonna either be I had it in my notes. Where'd my notes go? Marlon or Brandon, I think is what I had.
There was a Brandon Jackson?
No, I'm sorry. No, Brandon passed away at birth. Marlon or Jermaine.
Okay. There was like a Joe and a Jackie. Okay. So you're saying it's Marlon or
So
Jermaine.
yeah, I was on the wiki earlier and it said Brandon 1957 to 1957. So I don't know if that was like died at birth or died as a baby. So there was another one that I wasn't familiar with that named Brandon. I think I said that only because I remember reading that. I was like, wait, what is who's that? But the next two older brothers from Michael would be Marlon and Jermaine. So I'm assuming it's one of those two.
Okay. So the kid who plays him, his name is Brandon Quentin Adams, and he actually
Ah,
was in Michael Jackson music videos. He was in Billie Jean or Thriller as a young Michael. I don't know Michael Jackson music videos, honestly. But there's one
I
video
don't
where
remember.
there's like a young Michael Jackson and he plays young Michael Jackson, the
That makes sense.
older brother here. So he's actually like a big Michael Jackson fan and knows Michael and has acted for him and Michael knows him. So that was kind of like a cameo kind of thing. So I
Okay.
don't know if they got him and then they said, well, we should do a Michael Jackson scene. And they thought maybe he was a little too old because I believe he was like 10 at this point, and like they didn't want a 10-year-old Michael Jackson in 1961.
Right.
So
You
I don't
shouldn't
know.
have even put him in this episode. It was so like shoehorned in.
Yeah, I mean yeah. I mean, it was already not making sense, so what the hey. Um,
So Bob and his dad walks in.
yeah, thank you. Let's move on. So Bob and his dad move. Okay. And so
Dad's drunk,
Sam,
can barely stand
yeah,
up.
they're both drunk. They're both stumbling. They see Michael Jackson moonwalking. Uh, Bob's dad, Chuck thinks that's the twist, and then their twist. I don't know, but so Sam hears them coming in. He runs into the stall. Um, we hear Al talking. Sam shushing Al. Al's like, "Hey yo, I'm a hologram. Don't worry about it." Um, and I guess they're too drunk to even notice Sam. So, and then we get the reveal that Bob has no intention of going to the Peace Corps. He's going to go be a manager at his dad's used car uh, lot.
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
he bought, and the dad bought Cheryl and Bob a house, which I was like, heck yeah, I wish somebody buy me a house. Um, and yeah, so they're not going to the Peace Corps. And so Sam immediately goes and tells Cheryl about this. And oh yeah, yeah, and So Cheryl confronts Bob. Bob kind of explains it away that, oh, I just was telling my dad that, I was gonna tell him after we got married. I didn't want to let him down. We're still going to the Peace Corps. Don't even worry about it. Um,
Yeah. Just denying everything that Sam said because, um, like I think even Brandon Walsh, as you keep calling him,
uh-huh.
calls him. I feel it's kind of interesting because they call him like a peeping pervert. I'm just like, are you guys trying to avoid? Oh, he's peeping Tom. Like,
I mean,
were they trying to avoid that term?
you guys were the ones that pantsed him like a day before,
That's
so
true.
whatever.
Right. And Pencil's the one that noticed that he had no underwear on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true story.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, and Bob says, well, I just thought, we get the house, that was supposed to be a surprise. And, we would just rent it out when we're in, Tonga. So, and then, Al gives Sam the idea to challenge Bob for pinks.
Right.
And, um, and, Sam doesn't really know why
Basically,
he's doing that.
well, yeah, yeah. So Al says, Sam, race him for pinks. And he's like, what? And then Pencil leans in. He's like, he said, um, he repeats what Bob said. Yeah, he repeats what Bob said, but then adds in punk as he's like leaning in. And
Oh, I
Sam
missed that
does
part.
this thing where, yeah, he kind of he turns the other way and then like shoves him to the floor too. So that was interesting. And I was waiting to see if there were any cuts, but no, that's Jason Priestley who's actually taking that fall himself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because Sam shoves him and it's the same shot as he hits the ground, and there's no padding, there's no cushion or anything. You see him actually hit the floor. So kudos
Oh,
to
man.
Jason Priestley there for taking that fall.
Okay, yeah. Um, so then I guess they agree to this and Sam leaves and then he says to Al, why did I just challenge him for pinks? And, Al rightly says, guys like these, the only way uh to
Basically, you remember what I said in The Color of Truth? Like, when you try to get through to somebody, sometimes you got to speak their language, and sometimes literally or figuratively. This is the figuratively, right? Like, okay, well, Bob knows racing. Challenge him to racing pinks because if he lost to the Mumblebee, the junker, like he's gonna be embarrassed. And Al said something about like, oh, is Cheryl's gonna know? Whatever Al said, I didn't agree with that, but I understand where he was going with it. Um, but yeah, Bob accepts the challenge, says tomorrow 3 o'clock, and this is where Sam finds out. Well, Al tells him like, okay, these kids they don't know about nitrous oxide. You pump a little bit into the intake manifest or whatever manifold. I
manifold,
forgot the term, but
manifold.
yeah, it's gonna shoot NOS into the system, and you're gonna get like 10 seconds of a boost. I didn't know it was 10 seconds. I know it's a boost. I didn't know how long it actually lasts, but I feel that's also dependent on how much gas you're actually using, like how many tanks, the size of all that. I think that also determines how long. But I don't know. But maybe there is like a duration that you don't want to exceed in terms of right, like pumping in too much of that NOS. Otherwise, you blow up. That's what Al is telling him. And then I think it cuts on a dramatic there, to commercial. We come
Yes.
back and then it's Jill and Sam working on the car together with the laughing gas. I know it makes you giddy and stuff, and it affects people differently. But um,
I
what
almost
did you think
expected a
about?
kiss there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, like I mean
okay.
they were both laughing and I'm just like, okay, sure. I just thought perhaps these are the first people ever to mod a Chevy Nomad,
I'm
probably
sure.
ever.
Yeah.
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 Um,
That's one thing I probably should have looked up is like when was the first time somebody actually hooked up like Nas to a car? I'd be
yeah,
interested to
yeah.
finding out how ahead of his time was it. Um, and then like the day shows up of the race, which is the next day. Uh, Did you have anything else to add to the Jill and Sam? It was pretty brief.
Yeah, no, nothing. I guess we were just uh trying to grow them a little bit closer and to, so we can set up the last kiss at the end.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Again, I didn't dislike it. Obviously Sam needs somebody who knows, what she's talking about. But I do like, yeah, when they show up, Sam shows up a little bit late, or at least later than they had anticipated. And Sam, I like how he reaches in. It was almost a little suggestive, like the way he was leaning in. Like I feel Jill, the character, would have thought that Cam was about to give her a kiss, but he leans over to open up her
Oh
door.
yeah.
So maybe it's her door that works, but it's Sam's door that he has to reach on the outside to open up the driver's side door. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and he, you know, tells her to get out. This is for her safety, basically. And then Cheryl was gonna get out, but Bob convinces her, like, hey, this is the best seat in the house. Which also, like, he's racing your brother. It's probably best to not be in the car. But I do love Sam. Busts out the what are you, chicken?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I
So
just did pick up on that. I
uh
was like, oh,
yeah, and I do believe this came out, let's see here. The air date for the episode. I don't believe we said 1989. So this is still before Back to the Future 2. So this predates Marty being called a chicken because that doesn't get introduced until Back to the Future Part 2.
wasn't Back to the Future Part 2 '89
Yeah, 89, but I thought it was like
November?
July or no, it
This
might
is
was it
December.
later
This is
89?
December of 80. This is December of '89. This aired, right?
No, May 1989
May
according to Al's
1989.
Place.
May 1989.
So same year, but
Oh, yeah, you're
yeah.
right. Yep, my bad. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
something
So we
totally
wouldn't have
different. My
known
bad.
that, yeah, because that's something I also learned like way later too. Like I was just talking to somebody one time and they just thought it was funny that the whole chicken thing wasn't introduced until part 2. I was like, oh man, you're
Right.
right. I had to really think about it. So this predates it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So they race, it's tense. The mummobile, is it mum or mom?
Mom-mobile.
Okay.
Mom-mobile. That's a
Uh
tongue twister as well.
the Kamikaze Kid. No, I'm looking in the Cam. Okay, so his car is Cam dash Ikazi. So I guess you could say Kamikaze.
Is that what because there was like a sticker on the back of on the rear window. Is that what it was supposed to
Correct.
say?
Yeah, that's the image I'm
Okay.
looking at. Is the
Got you.
yeah, it's on the back of it. So it's Cam in white letters with the dash, and then Ikazi. So it's Cam Ikazi.
Listen, and when I in 1996, I had a 1986 Toyota Corolla, and I was so proud of that. And I pimped that sucker out with fuzzy dice and seat covers, and so
Oh
I get
yeah.
it. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know.
and hey, not too dissimilar font than my son's name on my first car. I got that car when I was 16, 17 when he was born. So yep, actually I had the same colors, white and red. And I don't think there's definitely not an influence. That was just my colors. Um,
Good deal.
so Sam was about to push the button, and then Al appears,
Mm-hmm.
and Sam's excited to see him, obviously. Al's like, no, not yet, too soon. And then Al gives him the signal to go ahead and push it, and then he beats Bob pretty easily, really. Gets out of the car, and then Bob, because he is a sore loser, decides to try to run at Sam here as he's like walking to the crowd after his victory. And
The
Mikey, this is what does it for the Impalas. Trying to kill somebody, attempted murder, that's where they draw the line.
Yes, it is. The ultimate D move, losing your car and then you crash it and you try to run over somebody. Yeah. Yeah, the Brandon Walsh said it called him uncool. Yeah, this is no good. And not only was it the Impalas, but it was the last straw for Cheryl, which was a wonderful
Yeah,
thing to see. Yes.
he tried to
Yes.
kill her brother. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's all that needed to happen. But again, like I talk about the writing, and I just love how, they are racing for pinks, and Bob, you know, he wasn't trying to crash the car, but he was trying to hit Cam, and Cam got
Oh,
out
see,
of the
I thought he
way.
was trying to crash the car on purpose. But I mean, I thought he was trying to hit Cam
Oh
too, but I just thought he was such a sore loser. He was trying to crash the car on purpose. Like,
no,
here's your crappy
I
car.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was about to say that line. I think because it crashed after, Cam, I suppose that he could have pinned Sam, like if he actually struck him, I suppose that
Yeah.
would have happened. But I just thought that he lost the car anyway, and so he was going to try to hit Cam, and the fact that he didn't and crashed, he was like, well, already lost his car, but like, hey, now it's ruined, so there you go. I that's the way I read it. So it was kind of interesting that you thought that he was gonna, that he was intentionally trying to crash it. Uh,
Uh,
is this where we jump to? Okay, after the
hold on.
crash. Yeah.
I was gonna say so, and the best move, one of my favorite parts of the episode. So the first Cheryl gets in Cam's car, and then Jill's about to get in, but she takes Bob's pink and just throws it on the ground, and then gets in the car and they drive away and just leave Bar like, hey, you can keep your junky car. There you go.
Yeah, that's not what it was about, right? Like it was about
Yes.
getting Cheryl to see the real you, And
Yes.
so even though she basically knew the real him, but this he tried to run over the brother,
Yes.
So that I'm glad that worked out. But yeah, that was a really great moment. Um, and then we arrive at the was it is it a bus station or a train station? Do
I
we
thought it was
know?
an airport.
Oh, I thought I didn't think airport. I was thinking, well, so I did not have an opinion of where that location was, but in Hollyfield's interview with Albie, she had mentioned that it was, I think, either the train station or the bus station in LA.
Okay, so
So,
maybe
so
she's
I
taking a bus to the. Well, she has to train to go to the Peace Corps first, so I guess she's not flying to Tonga just yet.
right. So she probably has to get somewhere. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, logistics and
Yes.
geography. It's fine. Uh, Here, this is where they say farewell, and I just love when Cheryl tells Cam that she loves him. I was like, oh, we haven't heard that yet, and so that was really earned, and that actually really made me feel like warm inside. To get a little cheesy. I was just like, oh, that was really heartwarming. Like I really really liked that moment, and she tells him that she has a gift for him, or did she say present or a surprise?
Yeah, I think she says I have a present for you. It's outside by the shoe shine stand. But yeah,
Right,
she
because
says you
he's saying
changed
that,
my life, right?
yeah. And so Sam goes outside, and Al is singing along to "Let It Be Me" by the Everly Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
um, just as well as he did Volare. I
Yes.
will say. Sam joins in on that. They have a good time. That they're, that the fact that, hey, they did it. Um, Cheryl's going to the Peace Corps, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been mentioning it for the last couple episodes at least. Is this the first time that we actually finally get a this is how, oh, this is what's going to happen with Cheryl. This is the impact of what you did,
Yes,
right?
I've been waiting. You've been talking this up. But I did clock that. I was excited to hear about future Cheryl and her husband and everything and how they're still in
There's
Africa. I think they're
there's
Chad and yeah,
in Chad. Yep, yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah. And they're still with the Peace Corps, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
It's great to hear that life
I'm
worked out
getting
for her.
chills just thinking
Yeah.
about it. Like when I heard that, it was just so satisfying,
Yes.
because that's just something I remember about, like the DNA of a Quantum Leap episode is like hearing the effect, of the lives and the impact that Sam has made in his leap. And so yeah, to hear all that, I was just like, yes, hell yeah, like there it is, finally. So I thought it wasn't gonna happen until season two. So we'll see if it happens on the next episode. But so I guess this is the first time. Yeah, we finally get one.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but that was one of my questions after every episode is, did Sam leave these people in a better place? Are they going to be okay? And it was great to hear what happens
Yeah,
in
as far
Cheryl's
as I
future.
remember, usually yes. Like because I mean, if you think about it, if Sam fails his mission, he's not gonna leave, right?
True.
So yeah, yeah. But that was the one thing I always look forward to is hearing that wrap up at the end from Al. But
Yes,
but
definitely.
I think what usually happens, I mean, I'm sure each episode is going to be a little bit different. I feel sometimes or usually Sam or Al is actually looking at the hand link and reading off like, oh, this is what happens, this is what happens. But in this episode, it being the first time, he already has that information to tell Sam.
Was the hand link always clear? It was like clear this episode. Was it clear last episode?
I am definitely not the guy to ask. I'm sure Brian would be, and
Okay.
Albie and Christopher, they would be really good to ask. Even Morgan, but there's at least two different versions of the hand link, and I don't know the story as to why we see different ones. There's the clear one, but the other one that looks like Lego pieces all put together. That's the one
I
that's more commonly used.
I always thought it was funny too. It kind of like makes Bugs Bunny sounds like it's like yeah.
It makes really interesting noises when he pushes the buttons and hits it. Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
almost this like it almost sounds like a like sim what's that maybe that's a bad example, but sometimes when he hits it, it almost like as if like he's
Yes.
like is making the sound as like he's beating it like to death. So yeah, it makes
Yes.
all sorts of noises. Yeah, you'll get used to those. Um, and so yeah, we see Jill. She's all done up. She got lipstick
Mm-hmm.
on, hair.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I know
Hottest
she's
13-year-old in the
13.
land.
I know she's 13, but
Sorry.
Cheryl did good.
I had to
Cheryl
make
did
a
good
joke.
at
Sorry. I
making
know.
her look nice. Um,
Sorry.
but yeah, I what I remembered, or not what I remembered. So the first time I rewatched this episode, I actually thought Sam was gonna leap out like during the kiss, like once their lips touch, boom, he's out. But like no, nope, they kiss, and then Jill goes in for a second.
Yeah, I think I would have been. I think I would have been more okay if it was like right as the lips touched, he leaped. Yeah.
I think I would have been more
We
fine with
talked
that.
about it before, but yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
uh,
Um, and I think that's it for the rest of the episode. Yeah.
yes, I believe
Okay.
so.
All right. So we'll get into the teaser after our games. So let's see here. Let me pull up the notes for the games. Notes. Okay. So the first one I have is the Howdy Doody moment. This is something that gives you a sense of the era. I had the vehicles and wardrobe. Like basically the first few minutes of the episode. I was kind of pitting it like mid to like as early as mid 50s to the mid 60s.
Yeah, I had the cars more than anything, but I also throw in that drive up diner. What the hell are those called? There's a word
Drive up
for
downer
them.
sounds good. I like that drive
Okay,
up diner, drive up restaurant, whatever. Yeah, I'm sure somebody will tell us.
yeah,
Uh,
they will.
the area code moment. This is when Sam says something that doesn't make sense for its time.
I didn't have anything for the speeder.
So I didn't have anything for what Sam says, but what Sam does is what I actually wrote down, and it's the moonwalk. Didn't make sense for the time. Already talked about
Okay,
it. Like, Michael Jackson wouldn't do it for like a couple more decades.
that's a good call. Okay.
Yeah. When was Sam seen talking to himself?
Uh, so many times, but I had the bathroom scene just because it caused a future pop star to appear out of nowhere. So,
Sure. And then obviously the one that Pencil sees and that's what causes him to I guess
flick food.
catapult, pudding or something.
Was that
And
pudding? Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
I'm not sure what it was, but from that distance, it should not have hit him like that and that
Yeah,
perfectly.
That's why I didn't think
It
it was pudding. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it should have gotten all over those kids at that table. Like it would have been flying everywhere. So, but hey, the joke's gotta work, and it worked. Um, where was there a needle drop you liked?
I like this song, The Wanderer. It was right in the opening scene at the drive up diner thingamajigger. Yeah, I like I like that song a lot. Sorry. And I'm not gonna sing
Yeah,
it because I don't know the words.
sure. A lot of great songs. I love me some Everly Brothers.
Gotcha.
Wake Up Little Susie, uh just several of them. Uh Let It Be Me. Let It Be Me is a great one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go with that, maybe because Al might have ruined it for me a little bit. Just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit there. So I'm gonna go with "Oh Boy" by Buddy Holly. Did you hear that one?
No. When was that
Uh,
playing? It was the
Dang it,
diner thing?
maybe. It
Okay.
also maybe, but are you familiar with the song?
I don't
All my
know.
love, all my pieces, missing, oh boy. It's the song that in La
I don't think
Bamba,
so.
Richie Valens performs with just his brother Bob on the drums. It's the
I
two
have
of
to
them.
rewatch La Bamba because you've
Yeah,
brought it up several times now, and oh, maybe on my trip this weekend I'll watch it.
yes. Watch it and then listen to my review. One of my proudest episodes. Probably
Sure.
one of the most extensive research I did because it was a biopic, and so I wanted to
Okay.
get, yeah. And what I actually said in that movie that Mariano completely agrees with me that it's Bob's movie, his brother. It opens up with Bob on his motorcycle and it ends with Bob on the bridge, shouting at
Oh,
Richie. Yeah, but it's
huh.
Bob's the one with the arc. Like there was no change in Richie. You know, I'll leave it at that. Now we're going on a La Bamba tangent, but they sing "Oh Boy" in La Bamba, which is also that movie's near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite movies of all time, and so I'm going with "Oh Boy" for the needle drop. Uh,
Gotcha.
next next one is "Back in My Day." This is something that is obsolete now, and I'm sure we can list a whole slew of things, but we keep talking about it. I have drive up restaurants is what I wrote.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah, I don't think it fits in terms of obsolete because I'm sure there's still a few around, but not a lot. It's definitely not like how it was back then when kids were, showing up for burgers and, malt shakes and stuff like that.
Right.
Uh, Making me do homework. This is something that was brought up and made you want to look it up.
Yeah, so I was researching the Jackson 5, trying to
Was it?
figure
Oh,
out if this was even a possible thing. I was looking up, Michael Jackson dancing in bathrooms, nothing came up. So
what a weird thing to look up. I
yeah,
hate to know
yeah.
what some of those results were.
My Facebook is gonna get some weird ads soon, don't worry. Yeah, so
Ooh.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
hit search and then you're like, oh wait, why did I do that?
No
That's
joke.
when
I
you want to do
was
you
at
want to do
the other day at work, I
incognito
was
tabs.
yeah, the other day at work, I was joking about I want to immigrate to Canada, and then I got a Facebook ad about like, want to know how to immigrate to Canada? Here's what you need to do. I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone,
Well,
Facebook.
remember how earlier I sent you a link for the microphone that I'm using?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. When during our recording, I looked up something on IMDb real quick, and that microphone was on the page of the IMDb app
Of
that I
course it
happened to be
was.
looking at.
Of
The
course it
Amazon link.
was.
I'm just like, wow. So
Yeah.
there you go. For me, at some point, I think it was when Jill and Cheryl were talking early on in the episode, and one of them referred to the Apollos as JDs. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I looked that up too, actually. Yes, I didn't know what that
Okay.
meant. So,
What did you have?
juvenile delinquents.
Correct. Yep, that's what I had. I
Okay.
just typed in like 60s slang like JD, so hood, juvenile delinquent. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was like some guy that was a JD, like a character or something that was referring to. That's what was my first guess, but until I looked it up. But yeah,
The only other JD I know is a jackass, so
yeah.
the moment of the episode for you.
Um, Lord. It was Sam's toast. It was my favorite moment of the episode. It tied everything together. I thought it was a very sweet toast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. For me, it's not what you would expect, but it was Sam grabbing Bob by the back of the neck.
Yeah.
I was
You know what?
like
I
yes,
do like that.
yes,
Yeah, that was a good moment. Yeah, like
yeah.
this.
It was yeah, it was a good moment just because of like the tension that it brought. Like you said that you thought they were actually going to start fighting. And
Yes.
I just so some people like, hey, they need to be taught a lesson. Like I was shouting like kick his ass, Seabass. Like I was, like a Dumb and Dumber. Like I was rooting for Sam to do something, and you don't see it coming either. And it
Yes.
just it goes from 0 to 60, and so every time I see that sequence, I'm just like, oh yeah, get him, Sam, just a little bit harder for me.
Yes.
So yeah. The MVP for the of the episode for you.
I put down Spurtis. Is that what we're saying? Spurtis, right?
Spurtis. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Uh
Who plays
I
Bob?
don't think it's yeah, I don't think it yeah, who played Bob. I don't think it's easy to make people hate you and I think he did a good job. I hated him. So yeah, I chose
Yeah.
him.
He's like this good-looking guy, chiseled jaw, chiseled probably. We don't see him without a shirt, but you can see like he's pretty built. And And he's not, and he flips, right? Like you see him really
Yes.
good with Cheryl, but then, behind closed doors, like in the bathroom and trying to run over, like, yeah, he has a lot to do. Um, that's a great pick. I went with something completely out of the box because I knew you were going to take it seriously. I didn't want to give it to Cheryl because I didn't think she like
I
she
think she's a
didn't
likable person
do.
anyways.
Yeah, she's great. Like I love Cheryl. Like Cheryl is up there with Trixie. I would pick Cheryl over Trixie,
Yes.
but they're
Yes.
both, they're both ambitious. They're both full of life,
Wasn't it
and
Dixie?
have I see, damn it, Mikey. Because I know I said the wrong name and so now I thought like, okay, it's not
Hold
that, it's
on.
the other one.
Oh,
Okay, maybe it is Dixie. If you
hold on.
want to look it up real quick, I'll keep on talking. I
Yeah,
called her
just keep
Trixie.
vamp.
Okay, so this is like a jokey one, and it is outside of the box. But I went with Marlon or Jermaine for ending that sequence for us.
Thank you for getting Michael out of there. It's Dixie, by the
Yes,
way.
it is Dixie. Okay, see, so I did
Yeah.
the same damn thing again. Okay, I called her Trixie, so it's Dixie.
Yeah.
But yeah, just this show writes. th- There's some really great episodes with very strong women. I was about to
Yes.
say
Yes,
write
there
women
is.
well, but I was not a fan of Tess.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at
Yeah, the
your
Marlin or
MVP.
Jermaine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
suit.
yeah.
We're not
I
sure which
mean,
one.
we're not sure which one, but thank you for ending that sequence for reminding Michael that he's got a rehearsal to go to.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about this date in history, Mikey.
So there wasn't like any historical events or anything, but Carl Jung, psychologist who came up with a theory that I should have wrote down, died.
It's not the
I don't know
string
if you
theory, is it?
No, no, it was a lot of modern psychology is based on his findings. So teachings,
Yeah.
learnings. And what was that show that we all watched during the pandemic with the alligators? Crap. Carol
Oh,
Baskin,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's Tiger
Tiger King,
King.
Tiger
Yeah.
King. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I finished this. I didn't. Anyways, Carol Baskin was born that on this day. So happy, happy
Oh,
birth to Carol Baskin. Being born as um, Sam's eating a bunch of hamburgers, and the number one movie that day was called a movie called The Pleasure of His Company. Never heard of it. It was a
me neither.
comedy starring Fred Astaire, Debbie Reynolds, Lily Palmer, and the
Oh,
aforementioned Tab Hunter, who we talked
okay.
about earlier in the episode. And I don't know
And
much
and
about it at
maybe
all.
that's why his name got that mention is because of that date.
Yeah, yeah, because that
Yeah.
was, a popular movie at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
And
in like Damn Yankees. I think I saw Grease 2 also in his credit. So he was
oh,
like
okay.
a
I
few
never saw
different
Grease
decades
2.
there. Neither did I, but some people like it better than the first one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe because of the music, but also a gun to my head, if you had asked me like Olivia Newton-John or Michelle Pfeiffer, kind of,
Fair. Fair.
you know,
I'm a Catwoman fan, honestly. Um,
same. But also I just love Michelle Pfeiffer. Like she's great in
well,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dangerous Minds. Um,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have gone with like a little bit I feel underrated What Lies Beneath. Like
oh,
I love her in that one
yeah.
too, which I also reviewed. Plus I
I
just check it
forgot
out,
about
people.
that movie, but yes, I've seen that.
It's a good one.
And the number one song that I was sort of playing for you when we were prepping for this show,
Mhm.
"Running Scared" by Roy Orbison. I'd never heard it before, never heard of it, and yeah,
But you
I
know
don't know if
Roy
you know it.
Orbison, yes?
Well, yes, I know Roy
Okay.
Orbison, but I don't know that song. So
Yeah, neither
yeah,
do I. I mean, if you asked me, I would have thought his only hit was Pretty Woman. But hey, he had another one, number one.
he had that one, "Crying,
Oh, right.
Crying
Okay.
Over You." I
Yeah,
totally butchered
yeah,
that.
that one doesn't stick in my head as much, but I am familiar with that song too. Yeah.
Yeah, and something else, but yeah, I did not know "Running Scared." So
All right. I
yeah,
mean, I know there's a movie called Running Scared. I think that's with Paul Walker.
I don't know that at all.
Hmm. Okay, fine. Maybe
Oh,
I
and I
shouldn't have
just
said
wanted to
that.
mention too, Leave It to Beaver was playing on the TV set when and that was according to TV Tango, that was not on that night. So that was on Saturdays. So and this was a
Ah,
Tuesday.
uh,
So
have you seen that one? Have you seen that in a rerun? No,
I've never seen any Leave It to Beaver episodes, honestly. My
me neither.
my favorite show from those times. I'm a big Lucy fan. I love all the iterations of I Love Lucy and what is it, Lucy and Desi? Is that the name of the show? Yeah, there's like a couple
Uh,
different spin-offs.
oh yeah, no idea. I mean, I only know the original one, but I do know that there was like a few others. But one thing I did look up because like I've heard the word before and I know how it's used in a context, but it was actually in a song. Um, but I did have to because like I'm pretty sure I know what it means, but I still had to look it up anyway. But it was something it was said in that episode of Leave It to Beaver is the older brother said pussyfooting. And so like that expression is, have you not
Oh,
heard that word before?
are we allowed to say that? I don't.
Well, yeah, but basically
Uh,
it means like beating around the bush, you know?
oh, okay. No, I don't.
Yeah. You've never heard that
I
before,
guess
huh?
maybe I don't. Yeah, I guess so.
So the song
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I don't remember the actual song, but it was an Eminem song where he actually says pussyfooting in the song. And through the context of that song, I had an idea what it meant, but I never really looked it up until this episode because I think this was the second instance I've ever heard that word term. And so yeah, looked
You
it
don't
up.
know which Eminem song? Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember which Eminem song. I mean, he's got like a plethora.
Well,
So
yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm not asking
could
you.
have been the second or third album, Marshall
Okay.
Mathers or Relapse. I don't know. Recovery.
Okay.
I've lost track. Eminem fan. I can't keep track of all the albums because he's got so many. He is one of my favorite rappers still.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next episode teaser. Can you describe what you remember seeing? And
Uh,
that one is called "Play It Again, Seymour."
I believe Sam just murdered somebody, or
That's what it looks like. I
yeah,
believe I think he finally leaped into a killer here.
yeah. And so I'm excited to see this. I'm wondering, are the police going to be after him? Is this a mafia thing? Is there going to be other people after him for murdering this person? So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. This is our
Right,
season
right.
finale, correct? So
It is the season finale. That's correct. Mikey, do you wanna share with the listeners something we discussed earlier today? What we're doing after each season?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think we were talking about we're gonna have a little season wrap up episode after we're finish each season, hit out a little bit of an awards. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for this and talk and wrap up the season and give our overall thoughts.
Yeah, the jury's still out on the like format and all that stuff. We're gonna kind of do something similar to like our games after each episode, but we're gonna kind of present them in a way like an award show. So like for season one, we're gonna have like best guest star or something, best actress. I don't know. We'll figure out the details of that, but that's what you can expect after each season. Go over our favorite moments. I don't know if there's any lines that really stick out or anything like that, but definitely looking forward to season two. I'm on Alice Place right now. Shout out to Brian Green, and just looking over at the episode titles for season two. So excited! There's a few in there I cannot wait to get to, um, for sure, for sure with season two. Uh, I think that's yep, pretty much it. If you guys are on Twitter, if that's still your thing, we're both on there. Quantum Leap Pod, if you want to find there. I'm at Rip Citizen. Mikey, what about you?
I'm not on Twitter,
Oh, that's right.
but
You did just deactivate it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And Instagram is Quantum Leap Podcast. So the entire three words spelled out there. And if you are interested in checking out some of my other work, I run Companion Network. Companion is spelled with a K. And on that Instagram page, you can find a listing of everything I've covered. Cobra Kai, Obliterated, Twisted Metal. I've added Quantum Leap to that list, and Podstalgic, my movie podcast, which it has taken it used to be my number one podcast where I was pumping out episodes all the time, doing movie reviews, and then I started covering Cobra Kai, and then that took like a huge backseat. Would love to start getting into that again. Mikey's got some movies he definitely wants to jump in on, but yeah, if you guys like movies, like what we do here, you can find me. Mikey's been on some of those episodes over at Podstalgic. So yeah, Companion Network on Instagram if you guys want to give me a follow there just to see some of the other things I do. Um, and yeah, oh yeah, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you guys don't already subscribe, subscribe there. Give us a star rating. If it's if it's 5 stars, like hey, we're doing great. But if you give us anything else, and if you're able to, please leave something in the review to let us know what we can improve on, and we'll try. Like we're 8 episodes in now, and this is Mikey's very first time with hosting duties. So we're still trying to figure it out, and we have like a bit of a format, but I think, as time goes on, we're gonna have like a much better flow. And if you're not watching on YouTube, we are on YouTube. You can see our faces. I don't know who would and why, but we do. We're on video on YouTube. Please like and subscribe there. I don't know if you can like the videos,
You
but
can like the
we're on
video, yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, and if I'm being honest, I think we get most of our comments on the YouTube actually. We don't hear too much from the other social medias about like the episodes and what people think. But on YouTube, people have been chiming in. You're like, if we say something, they'll actually respond to us in the comments. So that's been really, really cool to see as well. People engaging with us in the YouTube comments.
I
So
need you to do a better job looking at those. Sorry, everyone.
Well, my thing is like after we pass one episode, I usually don't go back because I don't think about it. And then I'll be
Yeah.
like, let me see if there's any new comments. And I think I just replied to one that's like 3 weeks old.
Oh,
So
fair enough.
yeah, I mean like within the first week I do see if there's like new comments of a post, but yeah, I should check the previous ones as well. So I want to thank you guys for like supporting and engaging with us. We're happy to do this. Mikey's loving the show. That makes me happy, obviously, because the last thing I want is for him to feel like this is a chore. So I love that Mikey
Oh,
is
not at
having a
all.
good time and really enjoying the show. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for us. Mikey, any last words?
No, I just really wanted to make the joke that Kamikaze is with a C, Companion is with a K. Just whatever
Correct.
it's the verse you think it is. Yeah. Yeah. And check
Yeah.
out Peter. He has lots of podcasts. I was a
I
Peter fan before I was his friend. So, yeah,
Yep.
check out his stuff.
True story. True story. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for your support. We'll catch you guys on the next leap.